talking serious about rugby league now, the big news recently is Toronto's promotion, and there's a lot of hoo-ha about it. Is it good for the game? Is it not? I'm here with Ian and Paul, and we're going to discuss it. Paul, come to you first. Now, if we have to look at the overall big picture and we strip it all back, is the fact that we're bringing a Canadian team into the top flight a positive thing for rugby league?
I think it has to be. It's a massive market. Let's be honest, the North American market. It's what I mean. The game needs exposure, it needs TV revenue, and I mean they've got bucket loads over there. Yeah, I think it's a real opportunity for the sport. I think there's going to be logistical problems, obviously, but I mean they can easily be. They can be overcome. It seems that the stadium's packed every week. I think it was they had the biggest crowd for the grand final when they beat Featherstone. Is it 10,000 out there? I think it looks a really good setup. I do think it's got some kind of it does capture the imagination. This, I think, it's going to capture the imagination here of RTV coming. It certainly should do over there. I mean, it's a new concept. No one knows what it's going to be like. So yeah, I think this is a real opportunity.
Well, I think there's no denying the positives is that we've got a fan base there for Toronto. They're getting a crowd to 10,000. That's a positive. The other positive is obviously it's getting talked about in the news. Yeah. Toronto being from Canada, and we're spreading the Emma Rugby League. But when we put it actually on our Facebook page the other day, we were flooded with Championship fans saying Toronto are your problem now. Now, why is that? And I think it's a problem with travel. It's a problem with the fact that at home games you're not going to get any away fans. Now, Ian, are you a fan of Toronto coming up?
I could be, eventually. Might take a bit of time.
What are your thoughts now?
It's like Paul says, it could be a big opportunity because there is a massive market out there. That's fair to say. However, look at some of the stuff that was happening on social media at the weekend. The Featherstone fans who were trying to travel over there and got stuck.
Yeah.
And couldn't get there, and how often is something like that going to come up? How often is them coming over here going to be a problem? It's to me it's a bit of a catch-22. Like I say, it could be really good, but it could also be really bad, and I just think it needs given time to see how it works. I mean, for the website I interviewed Neil Hudgell last year, and he said at the time, there was a lot of due diligence that hadn't been done into Toronto that should have been done at the time. Whether they've done that now, I don't know. I dare say they will have progressed it. Whether it's right in place, I don't know. Well, I suppose we just have to wait and see what actually happens, really.
Well, the next thing is the fixture list. How do we set it out? Is it going to be a similar format to when they're in the Championship? Are they going to play a block of home games, a block of away games? Is that fair? Because there's arguments either way now. You play, like some teams rely on the home form, so Toronto have 5-6 home games in a row. Be able to build up some momentum there. Now, is that an advantage to them?
I just think we've got to be play fair somewhere. I mean, you certainly can't have them flying. I mean, it's different coming from Catalans, the south of France, flying over the Atlantic one week, flying back the next. Let's be honest, there's environmental issues as well. People jumping on planes every week. So I think maybe we should be setting an example here. The one place don't make much difference, but maybe set an example. I've got no problem with them playing 2-3 home games in a row and playing 2-3 away. I think there's climate issues over there I suggest February in Toronto is probably going to be a little bit cold to be playing, which I think they're on about playing games on the road. I think Dublin's been mentioned. I think even Barcelona, where Wigan played the Catalans last year. Yeah, so there's some real away trips out there, and if they are going to do this, obviously they need to announce that as soon as possible. So the fans that of this, I think a lot of the Featherstone issue was down to the fact that they only had a week's notice. They were playing York the Saturday before. Literally, the game was only a fixture for 7 days, so it was all rushed, and that's where. So there needs to be a lot of planning to let fans know when they're going to be going there, so they can plan. We did have a lot of negativity on social media, but I didn't really see any negativity from anyone that's actually been there with the club. I think everyone there has had a really good time. I think as a Wigan fan, I'd love to save up and go and watch Wigan play there next year. But again, we need to know when it is. It's time off work. I mean, it's only a weekend. We can all get that. So I think this planning needs to be put in place. But like I said before, it just opened so many avenues. I think we can maybe go to a 14-team league now, because Toronto, I think, aren't going to take their share of the Sky money. They could let them go off and do their own deal with ESPN or whoever else out there. And maybe again be like the Catalans, where all their games will be live on TV. Which, I mean, the Catalan Saturday afternoon game is a brilliant addition to Super League. Something to watch at 5 o'clock. So maybe we could go down that road. So like I say, yeah, there is problems, and I understand a lot of the logistical issues, but this is a win-win for me.
I mean, if we're
I think part of the thing was when I went to interview Neil Hudgell, I'd actually spoken to one Hull KR fan beforehand and said, "What do you want me to ask him?" And he said, does he not think that the game is being taken away from the supporters? Because rugby league is not a rich man's sport. It's football is a rich man's plaything. Rugby union is a rich man's plaything. Rugby league is not that sort of
But what are the
game.
reasons for that, though? Is it the fact that we're not branching out? Because we are taking it to new supporters in Canada.
I think Rovers went there last year. I think Rovers have been there, haven't they, to Toronto as well?
Yes,
it's a fair play. They will have, they'll have experience of it. Yeah.
Yes, they did. And I love travelling. Ask my wife; she'll tell me I love travelling. And I would love to be able to go to the south of France and go to Toronto and wherever else. But at the moment I can't do that.
Yeah.
Hopefully at some point I'll be able to, and then I suppose it depends on the personal experience of going over to Toronto. Really.
Yeah, I think. Just lastly, if we strip away all the travel and everything, Toronto, their current team, we think they're going to add some players to it, are they not? And they're going to improve. How do you see them getting on next season? Do you think they'll be top 6, top 5?
I do think. I think they're gonna be getting a big marquee, big names. They're probably gonna have to, aren't they? A big marquee sign, someone that's gonna blow everybody else out of the water. Even like the big signings other clubs have made. I think they're gonna go right. Right to
Sonny
something like that. Yeah. I mean, I think so. I don't think they'll finish towards the bottom. I think we're probably looking at middle of the table. But like I say, if they do go out, I imagine they can sign more marquee players. I don't know how they're fixed on salary cap. So there's a chance there, but I mean they've got a very good coach. He knows all about the playoffs. He's one of the most successful Super League coaches, Brian McDermott. So I think I would say probably mid-table.
If you say mid-table, that's 6th. They're only
one place off the playoffs.
Exactly, so what do you think, Ian?
I think they'll be in probably the bottom 3 or 4. I think they'll struggle because the travel, and the fact is that they might have to go out and get somebody, a marquee player. The problem that they've got is by the time they got promoted, like we spoke about, most of the business has been done early. Those big name players that they would want to get have already been got by other teams. I would wait to see who they pull out of the bag, but I honestly, genuinely think that they will struggle in Super League.
Interesting. So differing views there. How do you see Toronto getting on next season? Are they good for Super League? Will you be travelling over there to watch your team play? Let us know in the comments and like and subscribe.